Hello students, today we will discuss the poem My Last Touches written by Victorian poet Robert Browning. The poem My Last Touches is a dramatic monologue and the poet Robert Browning is considered the master of this form of poetry. So let's first have a look at the definition of this kind of poetry. Dramatic monologue is a poetic form which has the following three basic elements. First, it is a long speech by a single speaker. So that is why the term monologue. Mono means single and log means speech. So it is a long speech by a single speaker in specific situation or in some critical situation in the life of the speaker. Second point is the presence of a silent listener there and whose presence is only felt by the hints made by the speaker throughout his speech. Third point is self-revelation by the speaker. The central interest of such kind of poetry is the self-revelation made by the speaker about his own character and temperament. Browning's inspiration for My Last Touches was the history of a Renaissance Duke, Alfonso II of Ferrara. Ferrara is a city in Italy whose young wife, Lucrezia, died in suspicious circumstances in 1561. Though the basic setup is historical, key attraction of the poem is the study in the character of a controlling, abusive and a psychopath husband which is universal in its appeal. His overreaction, the Duke whose character has been presented in this poem, his overreaction to the genial nature of the Duchess and thinking that ordering and correcting her not to be nice to people is beneath him shows him to be a hypocrite, jealous. So let's now go through the text of the poem. That is my last touches painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. The speaker is the Duke of Ferrara. A duke is a ruler of a county, एक प्रांत का शासक. It is the highest rank or title in the nobility just below the king and his family. And Ferrara is a city in Italy. The implied listener to whom the entire monologue is addressed is the envoy or messenger of a count whose daughter the duke intends to marry. And here, pointing at the picture hanging on the wall, the duke says to the messenger that is my last duchess, that is the portrait of his last wife looking as if she were alive, and that portrait looks lifelike and realistic. I call that piece a wonder now, and I consider that that portrait is a great work of art. Fra Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Fra Pandolf was the imaginary painter who painted that portrait. His name tells a lot about the character of the Duke, as the word Fra means friar or monk. Thus, the painter belonged to a religious community. He was not an ordinary artist. Thus, the Duke engaged a monk to make the painting of his wife. It suggests that he did not trust his wife with any other man, and that painter too, the monk painter, even that painter was allowed only a single day to complete the painting, and there she stands. Will it please you sit and look at her? He further invites the messenger to sit comfortably and admire the portrait comfortably and at ease. I said Fra Pendolf by design. He further tells the messenger that I took the name of the painter by design means intentionally. I had a definite purpose in my mind because for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance, because strangers like you, visitors like you, they could never understand the pictured countenance, the pictured face, and the emotions presented on the face of the Duchess, the depth and passion of its earnest glance, the deep and strong feelings shown in the eyes of the Duchess. But to myself, they never understood the reason of that passionate glance in the eyes of the passionate look in the eyes of the Duchess, but they turned to me since none puts by the curtain, because there was nobody else. Since none puts by the curtain, nobody is allowed to uncover that portrait. The curtain I have drawn for you, the curtain which I have removed for you, but it is me who can remove the curtain. Nobody is allowed to remove or uncover the painting of the last Duchess. Thus, these beginning lines very clearly tells us about the character of the Duke. He was a very controlling husband, jealous husband, possessive husband, and also a great lover of art. And seemed as they would ask me if they durst how such a glance came there, and those who were allowed to have a look at the portrait of the Duchess, they seemed to have a question in their look, and it seemed as if they wanted to ask me, if they dared, that how such a glance came there. What was the reason of such deep, passionate look in the eyes of the Duchess and in the expression on the face of the Duchess? So, not the first are you to turn and ask thus. So, you are not the only one who have such questions. Sir, it was not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek. It was not his husband's presence only. He goes on to explain the reason of that red spot or blush or red glow on her cheeks, on the Duchess' cheek. He says that it was not only because I was present there which made her blush so that red glow on her cheeks, but perhaps Fra Pendolf chanced to say, perhaps the painter would have happened to say, her mental lapse over my lady's wrist too much. He would have said that her loose cloak covers her wrist too much, and such little things were appreciation for her. She thought it was an appreciation of her beauty and enough reason to blush. Or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Here the Duke is critical of the childish nature of the Duchess, where she used to smile, she used to give smile at every little things. He says that paint must never hope to reproduce, otherwise paint could never have reproduced or recreated the faint half flush, the faded half glow that dies along her throat. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. Such little petty things, she thought, was courtesy to smile back at others, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. And these such little things were enough for her to smile or blush at least.